how have you approached him since the beginning, and how have you seen him change? Yeah, no,
Welcome to
again,
the
so again,
Walking
the
Dead
series to
season
now.
finale. We
It's
gotta wait
amazing.
seven
Get to
months,
live with somebody,
October.
a character for 4 years, and
7 months,
one of the
October.
great things
That's
about
when
the
the
show is that
new
they keep writing
season
turning points.
starts. Always how it is.
You know, there's nothing more
There's the
satisfying than playing
fall
a
half
character
of
that
the
changes.
season
And there've
and
been amazing
the
turning points
winter
throughout this whole
half.
season that
Winter,
just
spring
irrevocably
half.
changed who this guy
This
is.
year at least.
I would say finding his family
Yeah,
was the first.
so I don't even remember how this episode
Carl being shot,
starts.
Sophia,
Flashback?
killing
That's
Shane,
like the key, the
losing Laurie,
reoccurring
Herschel dying,
theme
losing
in
the prison,
this
and then
season
the
was
wonderful thing is that this
flashback to
episode was
Rick and
great,
Herschel.
written along with Angela
So
Kang,
basically, in
is
the flashback, all the flashbacks you get
Angela
Rick and
Kang.
Herschel talking to Rick, telling him,
This is another turning point.
we've been here 2 months in the prison. So where the flashback all the way to the prison when
And now he's, for the sake of his son,
last season ended. Remember, Carl shot that one kid in the woods from Woodbury the first time they attacked the prison. Carl shoot that kid when he was unarmed, and Herschel and Beth were there, and they're like, he was surrendering, you know? So, it flashes back to that, and Herschel basically telling Rich, I'll teach you to farm, but you have to teach Carl. Like, he talked, Rick and Herschel talk Carl. Again, this is all the flashbacks, so it was like flashback, now commercial, now flashback, commercial, now flashback, flashback, and it's not even origin flashback. It's like, I don't want to say pointless flashback because that's not really pointless, but it's like flashback to when good times, you know, when up, Herschel didn't get his head cut off, you know, like basically, so they flash back to Rick telling Carl, or Herschel telling Carl, Herschel telling Rick, you know, I'm worried about Carl, it's, you know, he could shoot, we know that, like, teach him to farm, teach Rick to farm, teach, Herschel will teach Rick to farm if Rick will teach Carl to farm. So Herschel got worried because, you know, like, this kid's fucking crazy. And I'm glad they did this because, you know, when this season started, it was like, there's a chunk, sorry, I'm dyslexic, this big of what happened. You know, I say it's each season 6 months because they don't do winter, which bums me out because in the comic series they do winter and zombies frozen. I want to see that as a frozen zombie. You know, it snows. They're in Atlantic City, right? So basically, they kept flashing back to that chunk of we're safe in the prison. These are the people from Woodbury. Let's get it going, you know. How they had their own community adapting. So basically, they flash back and remember Patrick. Patrick, sick kid. He's building toys. He's building a toy car, ages 6 to 12 or something, and he's just not ashamed. Carl's loading guns, and that's when Rick is like, "Whoa!" He tells. Basically, Herschel told Rick earlier, "Come with me. Don't bring your gun. It'll just get in the way." I need your help with something, and Rick tells Carl the same thing, it will just get in the way. And then they're farming, and Beth has Judith, and it's like, oh, and then, you know, the sheriff's hat falls off Carl's head, and Rick picks it up, and we're gonna have to get you a foreman hat, and puts the hat on Beth's head, and he's like, there's a new Pharisee. How's it look? Baby. And then, so the whole thing kept flashing back to Rick, Herschel, Carl, Beth, Judith, and they say, oh, what happened to Beth? She got kidnapped in the car. Where is she? What the hell's going on? Right. So then it flashes to I seriously don't remember like the opening scenes. But basically, I had notes on my phone, but my brother texted me something, and I was texting the notes to myself, and
fairly sure what we were going
I
to
went
do.
to answer his text because I had to go to the bathroom and take a pee
But
real
I was
quick
still
during
keeping some of
commercial
my
break,
cards close
and
to the
I
vest.
lost all my
And,
notes because I didn't send it to myself.
Luckily, he did not
I'm
shave
smart,
it.
right?
The interesting thing about the story, which I left out,
Yeah,
is
so I don't
that
remember
was like
how
a
it
month
happened,
after the
how it
finale,
started.
so it was
But
like, oh my God,
basically,
he shaved. Oh yeah, he did fake
Rick, Carl,
Well, we
and
never said the
Michonne
mustache
are
jokes at the
out
beginning.
in
We
the
wanna hear from
forest
you guys
walking a
as well.
tournament
We're gonna read
still.
your
They're
questions
talking
and
about
comments
it,
as
like,
your phone calls.
what do we
Let us know
tell
what you
them?
after the season finale. Tweet us at AMC
Like,
Talking Dead.
who are?
Or call us
Like, Rick says we tell them who we are, and the girl, who are we? Like, what do we tell them? Do we tell them the whole story, everything? Because they killed a lot of people, you know. That's why when they bring in new characters, I'm like, yay, more pointless characters that can die. You know, because, like, this is exactly what I mean. If you watch back the first season, there's so many people that you're just like, well, what happened to them? Where did they go? You know, there's a Mexican family that goes, we're gonna go find family by ourselves. You know, what happened to them? They were with the original group. There's the Vatos, the Vatos, no, the Vatos is the gangbanger Mexican people that have that are taking care of the old people in the nursing home. What happened to them? Don't know. You know, there's just so many people that's like, well, what happened to them? And then it's, you know, first season was like, like this much comic book and this much other, you know, CDC, none of that happened. And that brings up another thing. Eugene doesn't work in the TV series because of the CDC. If you watch the first season again, it's on Netflix and everything. If you watch the first season again,
You're comfortable here.
when they get into the CDC and you're like, oh, like what's gonna happen here, you know? And then
But are you too
sorry, this is tangent if you're just for the recap, but this was going in my brain right now. Sorry, that's how it works. I got OCD. I'll get back to it. Right, but in the first season, the CDC guy says, we're all that's left.
So you can be a member of a more secure
Center for Disease Control. We're all that's left. That building went at the end. Spoilers, it blew up, and he doesn't. France was the last one that held out. How does Eugene know what caused it and how to solve it if you get to Washington? He works in the comic book because you didn't go to the CDC in the comic book. Stuff happens way different. So it's kind of like, you're dragging that out still? Right, so back to the episode. I forgot what it was called, I didn't even check. Back to the episode, you know, it's basically Rick, Michonne, and Carl walking down the tracks. They get, and they're like, oh, we're close, you know, it shouldn't be too far. And then, they say, now we go through the woods. We cut through the woods, because we don't know them. We don't know. Right, so they do that, and then they're camping out in the woods. Rick teaches Michonne and Carl how to hunt a rabbit with the little slip knot, and you make a trail so it goes this way and it goes into the trap. And they caught a little rabbit, and then a bunch of zombies come. Someone's screaming, help, help, help. Carl tries to take off. Rick grabs him because the guy's surrounded, and the zombie bites his face right here. It's like they made up for all the walking on the train track and where, you know, they made up for the long drag out of, what was it, 8 episodes, 6 or 8 episodes of really nothing besides Lizzie, and, you know, like that was the most um exciting, emotional, everything video, movie, episode on this half of the season. So it's like, that was my thing, like how are they gonna make this an epic finale that makes me go, oh, shit, I gotta watch it again next season, and when it comes back I gotta watch the next season. I gotta know what happens, you know. And they kinda did that, but they kinda didn't, right? So I'll tell you when you edit. Right? So yeah, so they cut to the woods, they camp out, they catch a rabbit, they cook the rabbit, and, you know, shows them how to do it. And then they eat and they're camping out, and he says, we'll stay here for the next day or two, because Rick's still beat up, you know, like, it wasn't that long ago since the governor attacked. So they're like, yeah, and it cuts to commercial, and it's, I think it might have gone flashback too, but then it's nighttime, and they're eating. Michonne and Carl's in the car asleep. Rick and Michonne are sitting at the fire talking, and they're kind of having doubts, I guess you would say. They're kind of like, what about Terminus and everything? And then here's the part you've been waiting for that they were talking about in the commercials. Daryl's gang shows up, Joe's gang or whatever they want to call them. They show up and they point a gun to Rick's eye, pretty much like that. And he's like, you messed up now, you know? And they drag it out, and he's like, what? So he just has a gun to his head like this the whole time. And it's like, oh my god, they're gonna shoot Rick in the face, they're gonna shoot Rick in the eye. You know, because it turns out when they came into the house Rick was staying in with Michonne and Carl, when they came in a couple episodes ago, they came in and Rick hit her in the bed, they fought over the bed he was asleep on, he snuck out the bathroom, choked some guys, so someone was on top of him, one of the gang members on top of the other one choking him, and he's taking it easy. So he chokes that guy unconscious. Rick goes into the bathroom, struggles with the guy, and chokes him from the back. Now I asked my mom, like, wait, how come that guy didn't die? So the guy Rick choked this way, which, if you know jiu-jitsu, he choked him behind with the towel, so he chokes him like that. He chokes him backwards. So with jiu-jitsu, you go here and you choke and you squeeze. You squeeze this part to choke someone unconscious, and it just causes the blood, so you pass out, right? So the guy getting choked like this would actually crush your windpipe, and I think you would die more that way than you would from being choked like that. Whatever. There's a couple other things, like, if you guys remember season 1, there's the smell thing. Rick and Glenn cover themselves in zombie blood, and go on a run to get the guns. Yeah, and it rains, and a little bit washes off, and the zombies are, you know. But this season, Michonne's walking behind with her new pets. She's walking, and zombies are going past her. And they did a couple other one in the. There was a flashback where Bob, he's hiding under the thing, and zombies walk past him. Oh no, he was behind a tree, and zombies walk behind him. So it's like, if you're gonna do one thing, stick with it, you know? Like, if that's the rule, they can smell you, stick to it. But whatever. Right? So, yes, back to this epic battle. So, they have the gun to Rick's face, and he's like, and they, I was surprised they did this. It happens in the comic book, but different. I was surprised they did this. So Daryl comes out from the hut and he's like, no, let them go. They're good people. They're good people. And he's like, well, Lewis would say different. This man killed one of our brothers, and that's all. Like, they're doing the stupid code thing. And Daryl's like, no, he's a good person. And the leader guy, Joe, says, well, Lewis was, he killed Lewis, so that's a lie, Daryl. You lied. And they jump Daryl. That guy has the gun to Rick's eyeball.
No, he did.
And one of them pulls Carl out of the car. And he's gonna rape Carl. So the leader guy tells Rick, because Rick's like, let him go. You know, Rick's crazy. You know, if you've seen the first second when they're in the prison, you know Rick's crazy. He's psycho. But he does it for his family, so it's okay. So he's like, let him go. And he starts going crazy again. Remember when it started going, and Rick just looks, right? So Rick gets that look, and he's like, let him go. And he's like, no, you see, now we're gonna beat up Daryl, so they're gonna kill Daryl, have her away with Michonne, so they're gonna rape Michonne, and then they're gonna rape Carl too. So the one guy's already like pulls Carl out of the car, pushes him on the ground, struggling with him, and I'm like, wow, they're really gonna do this on TV? I didn't think they were gonna do that. I really didn't. But they did. They went with it, and you know, Rick goes crazy, throws like a headbutt or something. Did something, and he gets, and the guy's like, oh no, it's gonna be so much worse, you know, and just like, yeah, you don't know, dude, you know. So Rick and the leader Joe guy struggle, and Rick bites him in the jugular, and there's all kinds of blood on his face. Daryl fights back and kills like everybody. Rick yells at the guy who's trying to rape Carl, let him go, and Michonne walks towards him, and he's like, no, he's mine. And you hear off in the distance, you know, so you hear Rick stabbing him, and Michonne's holding Carl, and he's just watching him, and you hear Rick, you know, and then it goes to commercial, and you're like, whoa, I was surprised they went with it. In the comic, it's weirder, like, whoa, in the comic, because Carl's 8 years old, and this one, in the TV series, I say he's about 13 or 14. So then Daryl's sitting with Rick after the commercial, and Rick tells last night that wasn't on me, like, how'd you end up with them? And he's like, oh, me and Beth made it out of the prison, and Beth was gone, and she's dead. And he said, no, she's just gone. And then that's how they found me, and I knew they were bad, but I didn't know how bad they were, and I was gonna leave, but I saw it was you, and that's when you saw me, or when I saw you, and that's when I stood up for you, and he goes, that's not on you, you're my brother, you know, and basically he tells him, like, I'll do anything to protect my family, Carl, I'll protect Carl, that's all that matters. So it's like, Rick's crazy, but it's for his kid, so it's okay. And Daryl's his brother that make Michonne his sister. You know, so they're like a family. And it's true, they are like a family. Right? So then they do that, and they could have ended it there and gone to where's Beth? Where's Carol and Tyrese? How's Eugene and Glenn and Abraham and everybody at Terminus? Is Terminus real? What's going on? And then they go to, no, they don't go to, Rick buries a bag of guns, like it says, spread out, like find a way in. So and that's when, Carl goes with, Michonne, and Michonne talks to him, like, why didn't you go with your dad? And he just doesn't say nothing, because it's like, he just got raped, and then he just stayed with his dad, but he saw his dad stab somebody multiple times. So then, Michonne starts talking about her son, which they briefly discuss, and, you know, she says he was with you asked about my son, but you never asked how he died. So basically, they went to a refugee camp, and, this part was kind of sad, but it's like, whoa. You know, so basically you get the Michonne and her pet's origin. Her pets were her husband and his best friend, and so her husband and his best friend. She went out on a run, they were watching the kid, they were at the refugee camp, she came back, the fences were down, and she heard the moans and groans, and she found her husband and the friend, it was like Michael and Terry, I believe, and they were high, she says, and I don't know if she meant they were high, or high, or high, I don't know what she meant by they were high, drugs, booze, high up, I don't know, they were bit though, she says. So that's when she chopped their mouth off. She could have killed them, but she let them turn into zombies. That's what she says, she let them turn. And they cut their arms and their jaws, and she put chains around them and drug them around, and that's what kept her safe. And she basically says, I was a monster, and Carl, but I came back. Your dad, Andrea, your dad, and you brought me back. And it's like, oh. And in the comic book, Michonne's way crazier. She talks to her, she talks to herself. She talks to her husband. She talks to her dead husband, in dark rooms. And she's like, what are you talking about? I wasn't talking about, I wasn't talking to anybody. And they're like, okay. Because she gets caught a couple times by Maggie, I think. So she's crazy, too. Her and Rick are both crazy. They're alive. And then Carl tells her, my dad said he was proud of me and that I was a good man, but I'm not. He starts breaking down and he's like, I have these thoughts.
At this time, everyone's done
I'm just a monster too, I guess. And then he goes back to Rick, standing there, and Rick's bearing some guns, and he loads up one handgun and says, just in case. And then they hop over a fence, get in the terminus from the back, and then, Daryl and they split up kind of, but only Daryl. But then, like, they see the guy and he's like, welcome to Terminus. Sorry, I can't really say Terminus. But he's like, welcome to Terminus. And
significance for you of
should have came in the front.
calling Daryl.
Oh, well, we came in the back
I
because,
think it's the deepest
just in
thing
case
you
we
can
don't know
possibly
you
say. It's the most
and you don't know us. And they're like, oh, that's smart. So
profound
then they
thing
walk
that
her,
an alpha
they
male
say,
can
drop
say
your
to his
weapons.
I mean, it's basically.
So they
it's
drop their
opposed to
guns
just
and then
saying,
they take them
I
to the
trust you with my
front.
life, I trust you with my son's life.
And they
He
walk into
couldn't
the
be
front,
any
and
more intimate.
Rick sees a bulge in the guy's pocket, and he grabs it, and he has a gun, so he pulls the gun, he's like, where'd you get the watch? And they're like, I got it off of that one, like, what are you talking about? Like, the whole thing is just like, where'd you get the watch? And then more people come out, and there's one with the poncho, he's like, where'd you get the poncho? And the riot gear. And it's like, they killed and ate Maggie and them, holy shit. So there's an epic showdown. It's like the last 15 minutes with one more commercial break.
I love that.
So there's a showdown, and he's like, where'd you get the watch? He's like, Batman, where'd you get the watch? And, and they're like, calm down, put the gun down, we got this. And, they start shooting, the Terminus people start shooting at Rick and them, and they're dodging bullets, and it's like, are they Superman, or do these people just suck at shooting? So they keep running, and they're running around Terminus, and there's a pile of bones, and they go into this room that's real creepy, it's like a church, kind of, a bunch of candles, and it said, something on the walls, like, trust, something, don't trust, something, and they keep running, and they keep shooting at them, and then they run out, and there's guys in the bushes with guns pointed at them, and basically they're surrounded with guns, and they stop. And somehow they got their weapons again. I don't understand how, or I don't know, but they're just there, and they're like, drop your guns, drop your weapons, so they do. And then because Rick, the ringleader, Daryl's the archer, and I thought it was gonna be funny because he's like, ringleader, walk to your left, and then he's like, and now the archer, and it shows Daryl, and I was gonna, I thought they were gonna be like, what's an archer? But he didn't. And then Daryl walks. Then Michonne walks. They call her the samurai. So the ringleader, the archer, and the samurai walk towards the train car. And it's like, oh, what's in the train car? What's going on? And having read the comic books, well, no, I'll do this after. So Rick says, my son, and then he's like, don't do this now, because they tell him, open the door and walk in. And then he says, my son, and then they say, go kid, and he's like, I'll walk in with him, and they say, don't make us kill him now, meaning, don't make us kill your son now, because you're being stupid. So Carl gets behind Michonne, they all walk in, door closes. Now, having read the comic book, and after this, there's the big cliffhanger.
It's a key
Even though there's 3 cliffhangers.
There's a beat when I'm watching Michonne and Carl, and
there's
I'm thinking,
haven't read the comic
is he
books.
scared of his father?
There are
You know,
cannibals.
shame.
The thing with Carl, where they tried to rape him, happened in the comic book, but it was with Abraham and Rick.
He says something very, very key. They ask him. They said,
and I can't tell you that story because it's a spoiler.
And he said,
leave in the comments below if you know about Eugene or not. And I'll tell you. I'll make another video responding to it. Right. So here's the big cliffhanger season finale. Oh my god, you gotta watch. You gotta wait 7 months to figure out what happens. Oh my god.
So just from
Guess who's in the train car with them? Glenn pops out and he says, Rick, and he goes, you're here? And then out steps Maggie, Sasha. Well, no, it went Glenn, Bob, Maggie, Sasha, Tara, Abraham, Eugene, and Rosita, I think.
More powerful.
And then Rick's in there, and he's like, all these are our friends, and Daryl goes, and they're friends of ours too, good. And then Abraham says, like, yeah, but for how long? And Rick is like a smile. He's like, well, they're gonna feel stupid when they open this. And Abraham's like, why? Why? And he's like, because they rest with the wrong people.
Group of people out there.
Fade to black, boom, bucket heads over. 7 months, October, next season, season 5. Ah! So yeah, that's where I end it. Decent way to end it. There's still cliffhanger. Is Eugene telling the truth? How are they gonna get out of this and go to Washington? Where's Beth? Where's Carol and Tyrese? They were the first ones to walk on the train tracks with the 2 little kids and the baby. How that baby staying alive in the zombie apocalypse in the woods? How? I don't know. We'll find out in 7 months if they remember to do that. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment below if you want to know the spoilers. Check out my other videos. There's gonna be a video every day in April. So some of them are just gonna be fitness vlogs updates in the week, but on the weekends there's probably gonna be a rant. Probably, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure it out. But come back, check it out. There'll probably be some Walking Dead rants. I don't know, a lot of stuff makes me mad, but I try not to swear on here, because, you know, people, whatever. Yeah, thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friend. Oh, that's bad, I'm not giving you the finger. So yeah, subscribe, like your friend, give it the thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment for the spoilers. Check out my other stuff.
Are you guys ready to go inside the tent?
Peace, I'm out of here.